Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about reincarnation and the journey of the soul. Again, a big subject that I'm going to try and squeeze into a short amount of time. So what I'd like to say here is take what resonates. If you're not open to reincarnation, that's absolutely fine. And I know it's a specific subject where some people are totally closed off to it, and that's okay. I share what resonates with me because I feel the resonance of the truth in this, but someone else might not, and that's fine. I'm not trying to influence anyone's belief systems, but I know a lot of people are curious to this subject. So I will attempt to explain it in this video. So first of all, the word reincarnation. If we just take off the re bit and we just look at incarnation, what that basically means is to be given a physical form, to come into a physical vessel or a physical body, for example. That's what incarnate means. And then when people say reincarnation, it basically just means you keep doing it over and over. So the reason obviously reincarnation resonates with me is that I don't think that you can expect to have one lifetime and have learnt it all in one lifetime. So it's the idea that you are a eternal spiritual or soul or being having a temporary human experience. And the reason the soul wants to have that human experience is because there's so much growth that comes from it. So, for example, if your soul had a lifetime where it went through a difficult lifetime and didn't resolve any of it and then died, then there's a lot of things that are left undone in that lifetime. So for me, it would make sense that, of course, the soul would say, right, I'll come back in and do that again as a different player, as a different personality, and I'll try and resolve what I didn't resolve back then. To me, that makes complete sense, but to other people, that's not a thing, and that's fine. Because to be fair, it is really hard to get your head around, because all we know is this physical experience. We're born, we make a plan as a soul before we're born. And I get a lot of backlash if I say that sometimes, because people say, don't be so ridiculous. And that's fine, I get it, because it is a lot to get your head around. But when we're born into this physical experience, the plan's already been made. Okay, so you come into this experience through the portal of the womb. You've chosen your parents. Your parents have chosen you from a higher level. Now I'm talking not from our physical personality selves. We've completely forgotten all that. We choose specific family members because we know that as a soul that those family members will give us a lot of things that we can learn. So, and I'm not talking about things that we learn like a subject in school or a career. I'm talking about the deeper things, like the deeper truths of ourselves and the things that we need to resolve. And usually all of the lessons that we come in and learn is how to remember our way back to the truth of who we are, which is complete unconditional love. So in the earthly experience, we don't perceive unconditional love much because we're all very judgmental and we're like, oh, that person's an idiot and he should do this and she should do that and they should never have done that and they're an idiot. There's a lot of conditional love. There's not unconditional love. So in this earthly experience, you're coming into an experience where it's a lower level of consciousness and you've forgotten the higher part of your consciousness and you've just completely forgotten who you really are. So it's almost as if we come into this earthly experience, and a lot of the time when we come into it, because we forget who we truly are, that we're vast eternal spiritual beings having a temporary human experience, we forget all about what unconditional love is like because it vibrates so much higher than this earthly experience. We just we're born and we fall asleep, basically. We come into this world and we've forgotten all that because the veils are down over our third eye and we've forgotten all of it that we've agreed. So it's the idea that you're born, you have your human experience, and then you die. And then as the soul exits the human experience when the physical vessel perishes, because yes, nothing in this physical world is infinite, it's all finite. The only thing that is infinite is the truth of who you are, which is non-physical. and something non-physical can't ever die. It's not possible. But again, as humans, we struggle to get our head around that because we think of, oh, I don't know if I'd want to live forever. But it's not living from this level of perspective. It's a higher level of perspective where we continue our journey through different life experiences. So we keep reincarnating back in. What did I leave unresolved in that lifetime? Okay, quite a number of things. No judgment. You know, the soul or higher self would never judge that, oh, she left all those things undone in that lifetime. Geez. Oh, let's go in and do it again. It's not like that. It's completely, the soul completely appreciates that when it comes into a human experience, it forgets who it is and sometimes gets lost in the stickiness of the physical world and gets lost and then ends up suffering or ends up completely forgetting, what your purpose is in this lifetime and gets caught up in arguments and pain and trauma and things like that. So the soul is not judging the human experience. If you've left things unresolved, it's completely accepting of that, and it says, okay, let's try and resolve that in another lifetime. So to me, that makes total sense, that a soul can't just learn everything in one lifetime. So what happens is the soul, before you are born into a human experience, you make a plan that you're going to come into this human experience and you're going to experience X, Y, and Z. You're going to have a relationship with Tom, Dick, Harry. You're going to learn different things from these people. You're going to learn a lot from the relationships with your family. You're going to learn how to release fear. You're going to learn how to extend love and compassion to people. You're going to learn how to stay in your peace no matter what's going on around you. You're also going to learn that everything that is reflected back to you from the outside world is not really outside. So it's things like law of attraction. So whatever vibration is going on within you, you will have that reflected back to you. So you come into that experience to learn things like that as well. A lot of people think that a life purpose is all about your career. I can't tell you that it's so far away from it just being career that I can't stress that enough. Some souls might come into the experience to have a specific career so that it can learn a lot of things from that career, but the career is not the be all and end all. The whole experience is everyone you interact with in your life, anyone you might fall out with, learning how you can resolve that peacefully, lots of different things. Being a mother or a father, some souls will say, in this lifetime, I'm not going to have children. I'm going to experience it from a different perspective of not being a parent. That would be me, for example. And then other souls come in and say, I'm going to have many children and I'm going to learn all of these things from these children. And those children's souls are going to learn a lot of things from me. So again, like I keep saying, to me, that makes total sense. So you make all those plans, and you make soul contracts with other souls to say, let's incarnate and play these parts. You'll play so-and-so and I'll play so-and-so. And these will be our personalities that we've completely made up, but we completely identify with when we're living in this human experience. And we will see how well we can do. But again, there's no judgment if you don't do very well. The lower physical self, and when I say lower self, I don't mean lowly self, I mean the part of the self that is in the lower third dimensional experience of Earth, which can be quite challenging sometimes. And the other thing I'll say is Earth is a very advanced school, if you like, because a soul that incarnates into Earth must be a particularly advanced soul, because Earth is probably one of the most challenging physical experiences in the universe, because you forget who you are completely. You completely forget it all. So every time you're forgetting it and falling asleep and getting caught up with the judgments and all of the, difficulties of the physical world, not realizing that actually we're supposed to be transcending that, you almost think, right, I'll keep doing it from the soul's perspective. I'll keep coming back until I've cessed it. But you must be a very, very courageous, capable soul to be able to come into this physical earthly experience, because let's be honest, it's not easy. And particularly at this time, if you are incarnated on this planet at this time of great change, then you must be a very advanced soul. And there is something that you can bring to this world at this time that is going to help to clear all of the trauma that we're trying to shift through. So unless you've been, like I say, living under a rock or completely oblivious, there is a lot of trauma surfacing on the planet right now. Would you not agree? There's a lot of war going on. There's a lot of trauma going on. There's all sorts of, awful kind of cataclysmic, weather things going on and things like that. So there's a lot of what that is density surfacing. The planet is going through an evolutionary stage at the minute where it's going through what we call a photon belt in the universe, which means that the planet's been flooded with light. And as the planet's being flooded with light, it's bringing all of the darkness and the difficulty and the heaviness and the trauma and the pain and the yucky stuff to the surface for it to be cleared so that we can hold more light. That is a big subject and probably better for another video. But what I'm saying is if you're incarnated at this time, it's because you've got a lot of opportunities to clear some old stuff from past lifetimes, because with the planet being flooded with so much light, we are also flooded with light because we're connected to the planet. So when you're flooded with light, it's bringing all of your dark shadows to the surface. Because if you think about when you shine light on something, all of those shadows, they're brought into light, and they can't hide from that torch or that light, if that kind of makes sense. So it's an opportunity now to clear all your trauma, clear all your old stuff, clear all any old pain, just by letting it go and forgiving it all, because you will feel better and more free if you do that. I'm not saying it's easy, because it's not. But if you can do that, and then what you do then is when you clear all that old clutter out of your psyche, you can then embody more of the light that you are, and you can shine your authentic self out to the world. And I can guarantee you that you've got a gift or something or some sort of purpose or mission that you can share with the planet right now as it's going through the changes that it's going through. Because we're moving into a time where everything's taken a jump shift higher. And when I say higher, I mean our state of consciousness is becoming higher. We're becoming more aware of who we really are. We're letting go of all the stuff that we're not, letting go of all the limiting beliefs. We're realizing that everything in this world is a reflection of our state of mind. So things like when we see a lot of war, that could be perceived to some people believe that it's because we're at war with ourselves within, because everything within is reflected without. So if we all found peace of mind, we wouldn't see wars or pains or trauma or fighting or violence anymore, because we've cleared it out of ourselves so that it's no longer reflected in the outside world. And I'll stop there because my cat's just entered the room, bless him, and he's telling me it's tea time. So I hope you found this video interesting. Again, like I say, a huge subject, which I couldn't cover even if I talked about it for months on end. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon. Bye.